Today's news is stock market turmoil as China retaliates with tariffs. The stock market suffered another sharp decline on Friday as China imposed new tariffs on US goods, intensifying fears of a global trade war. The Dow Jones Industrial Average plunged over 1,600 points, or 4%, after dropping 1,679 points on Thursday. The S&P 500 fell 5%, bringing its total decline to over 15% from its recent high, while the Nasdaq Composite, home to many tech companies with ties to China, dropped 4%, pushing it 21% below its December peak, marking a bear market. China's Commerce Ministry announced a 34% tariff on all U.S. imports, mirroring Trump's recent levies on Chinese goods. Tech stocks took the hardest hit, with Apple falling 4%, 10% for the week, Nvidia down 7%, and Tesla plunging 9%. Outside tech, major exporters like Boeing and Caterpillar led the Dow's decline. Meanwhile, China escalated its response by adding several companies to its unreliable entities list and launching an antitrust probe into DuPont, sending its shares down 12%. Emily Bowersock-Hill of Bowersock Capital Partners stated, "The bull market is dead, and it was destroyed by ideologues and self-inflicted wounds." Analysts fear an escalating trade war could severely impact long-term economic growth. Bond markets reflected investors' fears, with the 10-year Treasury yield dropping below 4% as traders sought safety. JP Morgan raised its US recession odds to 60% from 40%. Trump, however, remained defiant, asserting on Truth Social that his policies will never change, urging investors to focus on US markets. The Nasdaq has plummeted 7.8% this week, while the S&P 500 and Dow have lost 6.4% and 5.3%, respectively, marking their worst weekly performances since 2020. A mixed March jobs report showed non-farm payrolls increasing by 228,000, above expectations, but unemployment rose to 4.2%. Trump touted the data as evidence that his tariff policies are working. However, experts warn that continued trade tensions could further destabilize markets and push the economy into recession. For more updates, subscribe to Newsgra. Thanks for watching.